Dad's workshop, folks. Let me get set up here. Thursday night chill session here. Gotta get the actual chill going. It's so hot in here. It's not even that hot outside. Just hot in the garage. So trying to get myself cooled off a bit. As the first person, my son is the first person in. Who we have? Chardonnay. Daniel, man, he's solid with it. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right. Microphone check. Probably better right here as long as I don't brush up against. So let's try it right here. Maybe that'll be worse. Is that good? Whew. Hot in here. All right, so who do we got? Audio good. Yeah. All right, good. Whew. Let me get a towel. Wipe my sweat from my brow real quick. My goodness. I saw my son popped in. Juicy Fruit VR. I believe that is my son. One of them. What's up, Ruiz? Welcome back. Let's talk for a second about that for a second. Welcome back, Ruiz. It's we survived without you here. Just want to talk for a second about that though. Just want to just go over just a little bit about where you might have been when you were absent from here. Now everybody, don't try to slow me down here. I'm just trying to find. We just want what's best for Ruiz. So we just need to know where he's been. It's not like we totally understand if you are wanting to hang out at a baseball game. It just don't lie about it. You know what I mean? Just don't lie about it. It's like just don't be a liar. It's like because you're a liar, you're a lying liar, and we don't like those kind of people. Except for we like Ruiz, and because he would never do something like that. Like he could go to a baseball game. I'm sure he was like literally busting his ass at work, doing some sort of intense manual labor, like walking around one of those man wheels to like one of those kappa stands to like raise some giant stone obelisk. Like that's probably what he was doing. I mean, he could be. I mean, I don't know which one of us he's coming for. Hopefully not me. Yes, if he told us, he would have to kill us. And so, in that case, I don't want to know. So don't tell me. I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to move it on the fulcrum here a little bit. I'm trying to figure out where you guys are in relation to where I am. I didn't realize I actually laid out these joints ahead of time on here. Woodchucker, what's up, man? Woodchucker here. I still got to email you. Been busy a couple of days. Definitely was watching your live, though. Yeah, we love you too, Ruiz. We do. You do, man. We appreciate you. Woodchucker in the house. Shout out Chardonnay, Daniel. I didn't give Daniel his attendance mark. Daniel's about to lap you, Chardonnay. Like he's won He's one mark away from lapping you, if that's a thing. Yeah, one mark away. Yeah, woodchucker. I'm psyched because I can't wait till I get this chainsaw. I can start like, you know, I love chainsaws. When I started doing woodwork, it was my all-time favorite tool. I used it for everything. I had two of them, and I just switched between the two. I got one. Pawn shops aren't good to sell stuff, but they are good to buy stuff from. You can often get good tools from pawn shops. I got my second chainsaw from one. I love that chainsaw. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Woodchucker's channel, it's very, you know, it has some, I don't want to say it's very similar to mine. It's got some strong similarities in that he likes to do work live. He gets a lot of people in there. A lot of people like to watch Woodchucker work on the chainsaw carvings. So got a really popular live stream. Yeah, we'll definitely do that, man. We're gonna get it's on its way. Confirmed. It's on its way. I mean, I got a chainsaw, but I don't have a chainsaw like this. This one that's coming is a big boy. You know, hopefully it's not a piece of junk. It's a gamble, you know, like I was talking about yesterday. So I went too deep right there. It's only be an inch deep. I went a little deep. That's all right. Yeah, most definitely, man. Love the channel too. Love the wood. The chainsaw sculpture is like one of my things. Ooh, that knot smells really good. Smell-o-vision, man. That's why I got to get y'all. We got to do like combined videos where we get people in person to do like part of the thing. I feel like people would grab onto that type of an idea. You know, some kind of a. This one's tricky right here. I might have to chisel that all out. I really like to chill more on my Thursday night, so just wanted to work. I have something on my hands. You know, this is the way I am. This is actually the way I'm as a person. When I work on these things, I like to have something to listen to or someone to talk to. I was the type of person when I was in school, especially in high school. I took a lot of art class and would be in the, you know, the photo lab and just working at the table a lot. That's shop class too. I enjoy that kind of a workshop environment. Like that's the vibe I like. Yeah, it's all right, Ruiz. You know, we have you. Well, as long as we have you in here, I have your presence. You know, that's really more what I care about. Don't worry about that stuff. You know, that's for if you can do something, you can, and it's not held against anybody who's not able to do anything like that. That's your friendship is the most valuable thing to us. You know. I might get out my mortise chisel or my Japanese. I got this like Japanese style mortise chisel I sharpened recently. I've been wanting to try it again. I took it on the all the stones. Took it over all the sharpening stones. I haven't used it yet since I've done that. What we got going on in the chat? You don't like being disturbed while you work? Told y'all the next thing that I want to do after this, besides the chainsaw test and all that, I want to do is I want to do a wood bender. So we're going to use some sort of, I'm thinking like a pasta pot. like what you'd see an Italian woman cook spaghetti in. If we can drill a hole in the middle top of that, insert a hot hose. I'm not good at welding or anything like that. I wonder if there's a way I can like solder on the like the hose tap and die. You know, the screw function of the hose. If I can solder, or if I can possibly I don't know how to weld. I'm just not a welder. It's not a skill I have. I wish it was. Oh nah, Ruiz, man. You know, you look, hey. You got a lot of work to do because you got to show up to class on time, man. You got to show up to class, man. Stop cutting class to go to work. Work is lame. Just something I thought about the other day while I was watching another woodworker. I watch a lot of other woodworkers videos. Man, I'm dripping sweat out here though. Watching this thing, how when you take this, you can take one of these gauges and you can actually test the walls, the cheeks of your mortise. The cheeks being the side walls of your mortise. They need to be straight at a 90-degree angle. Let me shut this door because I feel like all the cool air is leaching out that door. I gotta tell you, my experience here on YouTube, I love it here. My experience here is, hold on, trying to get to live here. My experience is, man, some days are super, super good and others aren't. And I think that some of it is just the natural way of things. Like last Thursday and the Thursday before were super good crowds. So it was very, very exceptional. I did say to Heather that I don't expect that all the time, you know, but definitely you see there's variance in how we pull crowds on night. And even if it's the same thing, it just, yeah. So we, well, at least you have dry air down there. Y'all, you can just put a fan on with a freeze a cooler of water and put a fan on. That's enough to dehumidify a room in Arizona. It's so dry down there. That's right. You are down there in Arizona, man. That dry air. A lot of Minnesota transplants live in Arizona. Snowbirds is what they call them. They go down to Florida. They go down to Arizona a lot. I've probably got a lot of family members down there, extended family. Actually, significantly in the West, in California and other places too. Yeah, nice and dry there. That's the only thing about Arizona is at least you have the dryness. Let me make sure I get this mortise the right. This needs to be 1 inch deep. So I might not have gone deep enough. This looks like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch where I got this tape. Just want to check it real quick. It's shy. I think that's probably a good thing though. So I'll just cut deeper with the chisels. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. No, man, my body is not acclimated. And I go out and exercise in it twice a day. I just got done. That might be part of the reason I'm sweating. I did like a little interval workout and then lifted some weights before I went on my live today. You know, it just helps me kind of clear my mind before I deal with y'all. Like, I got to deal with you, you know? I got to have a clear head when I deal with all you crazies. Nah, it's me. I'm the crazy one. That's why that's why I'm the one standing here in front of people carving wood. Right? So I want to make sure these cheeks are nice and straight, is what I was kind of getting to here. I did not cut this mortise deep enough with the Forstner bit. It's about 3/4 of the way it should be. So I'm probably going to take I haven't used this Japanese chisel I have in a while. It's an antique. I want to try that one out. This is a straight blind mortise, so there's no angle and there's no brace in this. This is a rectangular mortise. Yeah. I think all of us that run channels are a little, you have to be a little bit. Like you have to be a little bit, man. It's like something you just, because what you come in contact with. I just had a mosquito bite me on the back of the head. I could feel it. What you come in contact with on here is like it's a difficult thing, and sometimes these kind of things it takes a little crazy to be able to execute it. I've noticed that with the other creators, like no offense, shout out Appalachian Wood. She's like, man, she goes at it like, bro, they are. I mean, it's crazy like a fox is what it is, folks. You know, this is the way of the world now. I know. Woodchucker knows it. This is our opportunity to use media to show people what we do. As Americans, we have this privilege of having devices what we do in this country with our kind of, you know, most of us kind of have a privileged existence here. If we make a comparison to a lot of other countries. Oh no, are we freezing? Oh no. Let me pull this light. Put it in this internet box. Yeah, this is dead. All right, let's hope I get it back here. We're good. We're good. Good. That's good. We're good. One of my internet sources went down. Looked like I froze on my phone, so I'm gonna get off both these signals. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Just checking to see if my internet was good. I'm gonna take this down. I need to take it down to where the flag is, a little further than the flag. In fact, let me move this. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we make rustic furniture, and I need to measure this. I want this to be an inch into this mortise. We make rustic furniture on here using conventional and widely available materials. That's the idea here. Is we don't have a lumberjack like some of my friends on YouTube that have channels that are more established have access to sawyers and professional lumber at very cheap prices. You know, kind of like the rich get richer, but I don't have that. So what I got to take is conventional lumber and make the best out of it. Oh yeah, definitely, woodchucker. I'm not in the house, so I can't really do anything at the moment. Maybe Heather can check that post out. Oh, okay. So you're rolling out? That's okay, man. I mean, I always appreciate you being here, man. Love having you in. So that's about what we need to go to right there. It's a little uneven at the moment. I love that you go to the forest to get your wood, man. I love that connection with nature, man. I was just telling you about that the other day, man. But you have to go. I understand. Just want to that makes me think about how important at this stage of my life my individual connection with nature is to me, man. Remember in the shop we made the birdhouse the other day? We made that bluebird house. There's a bluebird living in that house now, or there's a bluebird nest in one of those bluebird houses, and I'm so excited about that. It's awesome, awesome. Yeah, man. I mean, locally sourced materials, using what you have to Yeah. So like, I guess he's saying that's where he sources his wood. I don't think he's saying he has to go, but either way, I understand. But yeah. So I am getting that chainsaw, and then I'm gonna start, milling some of my own lumber, not all of it, because part of my YouTube channel is I want people who have only lumberyard stuff accessible to be able to do what my projects are. Take 2x4s and actually make them into woodworking projects. And then when you get on the expensive lumber, you don't make as many mistakes. Am I right? Practice on the cheap shit. I mean, the cheap stuff. And then when you get to the expensive stuff, you know, I hope I don't get banned for my occasional bad language. Hope my son's not still in here, though. I've cursed around him many times, too. Sorry about that, D. I do try to make this a family-friendly place. Being in the classroom for so many years, I think I started to resent being censored a lot. I don't like people censoring what I say, but I will accept it. Oh yeah, man. The wood is better in the forest. My dad has this big walnut tree in the woods out there. Huge black walnut out there, and it took me a long time to find it. And I was running past it. We have a path that runs through his woods. It's about like, I don't know, like 6/10 of a mile around this path. We cut it with one of these really, his neighbor brought over one of these, basically like a bushwhacking machine. I don't even know how to describe it. It takes a cat, it goes on the end of a cat, and it just tears wood up. I mean, it'll tear whole trees off the ground, just spins, and it creates a path. And so there's a running path, walking path back there. We also take the gator back there, and we take a go-kart on that path as well. But the path is what I run on in the morning when I'm up there in Ashland. And a bunch of times I kept finding walnuts on the ground. Couldn't figure out where this walnut tree was. Obviously, walnut being the most desirable working wood that there is in America. There's other ones in South America, Central America, and Africa that are more desirable, but we don't want to use those. Anyway, found this walnut tree. It's huge. I would love to harvest this tree. I don't want to take the only black walnut out of the woods, though. If that's the only black walnut in those woods that's mature, I'll use other wood. Depth is 1 inch on this joint here. Can you see? Looks like we're about at 15/16 right now or something like that. And then over here, it's a little more shallow. There's a knot in there. Good question, though. 1 inch total, though, because it's a blind mortise with a 2x4 that's been a dado on the end of it. Basically, you're just cutting a lap on the end of it. It's going to lap, shoulder's going to sit on here, and then the 1 inch tenon is going to go in there. Then it'll be pinned in there. I put a video on my Discord of these people from Minnesota who run a timber frame like school. My aunt and uncle actually went to it and reported back. They love woodwork, and they have great, like, one of the things they have in their house is a 10-foot banquet black walnut table that came from a black walnut in their woods. Well, I don't need to, woodchucker, because this isn't green wood. So that's an excellent question. This wood's already been kiln dried, so I don't have to. You're working with much more rustic materials like green wood. Your logs are all green, so they have to dry. These have been kiln dried. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Whenever you read a piece of wood, there's usually a mark on here. You probably know this. I'm telling you something you already know. When you look at a piece of conventional lumber, there's usually a bunch of marks on it. Trying to find one kind of those marks right now so I can kind of just pull one. I don't have to pull a whole 2x4 down. A lot of code on those little boards. trying to find a board with some of that. I mean, I have some on this frame right here, but it's all assembled. Well, you see like on the side of these boards, it'll say the mill number and the union number, and then it'll say KDHT on it, right? KDHT means kiln dried, heat treated, right? So it's like, and I can grab a mortise right here. I got it. So we don't have that problem unless we're working with green wood, which I've done before many times, many times. And some of the earliest stuff I did, right. So here's one of my posts. If you look at the bottom down here, it's got the mill number where it came from, and then you see at the end it says KDHT, which means kiln dried, heat treated. So the lumber is very dry, extremely dry, below 11%. Do you have a woodchucker? Do you have a wood moisture gauge, like a needle that you stick down into your logs to know when they've come to that 10 to 14% range? That's generally what I used to have one, but it got beat up in my shop. I used it because I actually cut logs down and use them for furniture. And so I had to check the moisture level of the wood over and over again. Yeah, so we don't have, so that's an excellent question because we're working with kiln dried wood, which is not ideal. Air dried wood is ideal because it dries better. It's just a better product. So if I have access to it, of course I use that. But since we're using kiln dried, we don't have to worry about any shrinkage at all. Every joint is going to be approximately the same, except for fluctuations in relative humidity, which will change and that's why when we do timber framing, we have all these wood joints, and the wood is just moving with the other wood. Now, if you use metal hardware, the metal isn't moving; it's staying in one place. Thus, the argument for timber framing is that the wood can cooperate with the wood forever. The metal is going to rust in there. Humidity changes are going to rust the metal. The metal is going to break when the wood moves. It's just an inevitability. The wood on wood, that's not going to happen. Wood, 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 wood. I was about to sing a wood song when I came on here today. My favorite material. I love being in the woods too, man. The woods have a spirit. I was just telling Heather about this today, man. The woods have a spirit that I feel akin to. I feel at home under trees in the woods, working with wood, making things out of wood, cutting wood. All kinds of being under a wood building, you know. I go by when basically, the flexing and contracting can work metal hardware out. Obviously, when we have a 5-inch long nail, whatever that goes into these buildings that they're putting butt joints on, that's it's unlikely those are gonna break with it. But the structure of a stick-built house is just not rigid. It takes that plywood sheathing that you put on a stick-built house to keep the house together. These houses, we could blow them over or push them over with our finger if they didn't put plywood sheathing all over the house. The stick frame's really not enough to handle any weather. And as you go through your time here and you're in the shop more and more, I hope you all consider the idea that if you get the opportunity, building yourself something with the knowledge that you just picked up or just starting to do it is something that's within your capabilities. On that documentary yesterday, so woodchucker, just a little thing about when the bark comes off. So I don't know if you know this, but wood harvest in the spring and summer will lose its bark when you cure it. But wood harvest in the winter, fall, after the frost has come, the bark will stay on. So like if you're trying to use you're trying to do something with a live edge, you want to harvest that wood in the wintertime. if you're trying to do something and you don't mind if the bark is nasty, like it's an old oak and it's got some crusty bark on it, and you don't mind the bark going, then you harvest it in the summer. But definitely, I don't know if you ever use like pentacryl or wood juice or whatever to keep your logs from checking, because logs as a whole want to split and check. And so when I cured my logs, what I would do is I would take a sealant, a thick paint or epoxy, and spray it on the ends of the logs so that the log evaporated the water evenly, but it was forced to evaporate the water through the bark. Does that make sense? So like, yes. So you put the paint on the end grain because the end grain is losing so much water, it's going to check, and I forget what they call that sunburst pattern. It destroys wood on the inside. When they start to check like in a elliptical pattern on the end grain, the wood is messed up real bad. So what you want to do is prevent wood from sapping or leaching out all its moisture too quickly, which can happen in Virginia here and probably in Arizona very, very quickly over a summer. So we got to seal the end caps on the wood because, yeah, so live edge sealer, even just regular paint if you have nothing around to seal the ends of your wood, keeping the bark on allows that moisture to come out slowly. And there in Arizona, where you guys have such low humidity, it's so incredibly dry there, you probably don't even need kilns. Wood probably dries in a matter of 2 to 3 months there. And that's an educated estimate. I studied a lot about how wood dries, armchair studying. I really wanted to see how fast I could kind of put together something with cured lumber. Here's one way I got around curing lumber: standing dead trees. One of the best pieces of furniture I ever built was a cedar table. It was early on, and I cut the cedar tree down. It was under this guy's porch and running out over the neighbor's yard. It was a dangerous job to cut this down, but the tree had been standing dead for 6 years. So I was like, hey, this wood is going to be immediately usable. Raja Bindi Gohana, man about town, man about the laws. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Shout out Raja. Shout out all the other people, woodchuckers, keeping the conversation going. Shout out Chardonnay and Ruiz, Gandara. I haven't seen Mike today, but anybody else I'm missing? I don't think I'm missing anybody on that. Woodchucker, of course, my partner in crime, Heather. Raja, Woodchucker, Chardonnay, Ruiz, Gandara, and anybody else who wants to shout out in the chat. Let us know you're here so we can give you a shout out. Appreciate everybody being here. Yeah, we're talking about wood, how to keep it from leaching its humidity. I know you work on raw wood too, Raja. Wood that comes straight from the woods that's standing alive has a very high moisture level, somewhere between like 80 and 90%, I think. I'm guessing at that. And then in order to get it down to where it's workable and stable, it has to be somewhere between 10 and 14% internal moisture. And you can use a wood gauge to check that. This is stuff that I just like. It's like wood is trees and forestry, and it's been my hobby since I was a kid. Plants. This is just part of a larger plant hobby, basically. That's what wood and woodwork was. I always loved trees. I always loved plants and how we use them and all that stuff. So, yeah. Appreciate having everybody here. Dad's Workshop, where I'm cutting this one mortise today. That other bent, I can probably move the camera and I don't really have a lot of people here anyways that I'm worried about losing. I'm worried about losing all y'all, but I'm not worried about losing a huge crowd today. So you see, we kind of assembled the vent over there for the back of the bed. That's kind of what we've got set up. This is going to be the post for the other side. I'm working in a different order than I did before. Just to keep you, in the loop of what's going on here. Get back to live. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we build elegant rustic furniture with available materials. And I appreciate everybody being here at Dad's Workshop tonight. It's Thursday night chill session. We're just hanging out, talking about different woodworking and craftsman topics, forestry, those kind of things. My guests here I have some really kind of popular woodworking live streamers. Raja Bindi Gohana and Woodchuck are both run very successful woodworking YouTube channels, and I'm so happy that they stopped through. Feel very privileged to have both of them in here. Also, my everyday friends that are in the chat today. All my regular friends, Ruiz and Dandara and Chardonnay and Heather. Haven't seen Robert G or any of them today, but you know, they pop through, and hopefully if you all see them, y'all say hi too. Appreciate you, Woodchucker. Definitely appreciate you, man. Yeah. So that's what we're doing, just hanging out. I'm gonna grab my little sip of water here, take a sip, and just read through the chat with y'all. So we talked about a lot of stuff like end grain capping, when you harvest wood, what happens, like Woodchucker gets his woods from the forest. You know, if you watch his channel, he's chainsawing stuff. So he asked me, do I need to let it cure? And I use really, really super overly dry lumber that's been kiln dried, which is not ideal. Ideally, you air dry all your lumber, you know? Yeah, man, I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, I appreciate you. I love woodcraft. It's just a hobby. I'm not a master cabinet maker. I have made a lot of furniture and I've sold furniture. So I do consider myself an artist and an artisan and a craftsperson, but I don't have the prerequisite education to consider myself a master in this field by any stretch. All I am is just a person who really enjoys woodworking, and I like to talk about woodcraft of all sorts. That's why I can't, like, my niche is, in this case, we're building rustic furniture out of conventional lumber, which is something I really hated for a long time. I didn't want to build anything out of conventional lumber. But then I started looking at the way that beds were constructed and other furniture and how trashy the lumber is. The other day, I talked to a person whose husband worked at the Georgia Pacific plant, and he was laid off. And the Koch brothers, who bought the plant, decided that they no longer wanted to make lumber products anymore. They only wanted to make paper products. Now, I don't know if you know the Koch brothers, they're billionaires, and they bought up a lot of Georgia Pacific like a handful of years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I think when that chainsaw comes, Woodchucker, I'm gonna be out there like ravenously. There is a bird. I have this. There is a what do you call it? Why am I? You know, the lumpy wood. Why am I forgetting the name? Burled. There's a burled tree up in this rural area, and I got permission to take this burled tree. It's about like this wide. Burl's going all the way up the tree, and I'm sure burl's underground. It recently fell, so I know it's dead. I want to get this tree, and I want to saw this tree into boards, man. What's inside those boards is going to be all kinds of spalting and patterns and all these different things, right? So when I get that chainsaw, once I take care of the jobs I need to take care of, if the thing is still working for me, it's going to start milling me some of these boards. There's a couple burls I've found. Whenever I find a burl tree, I mark it on the map and I go back to the spot and see if it's still there. Because yeah, the burled maples, like I've got a table I built out of spalted and burled maple. It's one of my favorite pieces. It sits in my parents' house. They really love it. If I took it off their hands, they'd be pretty sad. It's just a trestle table that I made out of burled maple. It's also spalted with an ink line in it. So sometimes the more gnarly a tree looks, yeah, it is. It's like when you look in it, it's got dots and spots and ribbony little patterns, and the figure is amazing, man. It's almost like this is curly maple. I wish I had an example of it here. I made my mallet with some curly maple, but it's not. It's even more impressive than that. It has so much personality in there. It's like a universe inside this tree. Yeah. Yeah, man. Chainsaw jig. That'd be a great video. Yeah, man. I did say, I think I said yesterday, and I told Heather and everybody else that when I find this tree, when I find a tree, if I cannot get it out of its location, and I probably won't be able to get it out based on me trying to pull this tree with my Ford Ranger the other day, which was only partially successful. I think I'm gonna have to set up a mill on the spot. Like I need to build a frame. I've seen people do them vertically too with like wooden boxes on 4x4s where they use gravity to push the chainsaw down. It was a really cool style mill. I wouldn't do that though, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely do, Woodchucker. We definitely do, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. So I want to get this burl out of the woods. I want to get this burl milled. Heather knows this is one of my dreams. I even got permission from the gas station owner because it's sitting behind a gas station. I went to the gas station owner. I said, "Man, there is this tree in your woods behind there, man. It's not an everyday tree. I'm going to tell you, not an everyday tree. It's very gnarly, but I would love to come up here and just pull it out of the woods. You know, it's going to be tricky. I'll probably have to build like a sled to get it up out of there. I don't have I have a tractor, but I can't bring the tractor over there. It's too much hoopla. I don't have a tractor. I have access to a tractor. The other possibility is that the tree could be segmented into 6 to 8 foot long sections, and I can pull it out like that. Yeah, definitely. You definitely appreciate y'all. It did fall. It is on the ground now. It is on the ground. It did fall. Last night I cut off early, so I'm gonna stick around for my people for the full hour today, guys. At least, you know. I appreciate y'all not being impatient with me yesterday. I'll probably pull my other beam out and cut that other mortise out while I'm here. Um, thank you everyone for being here at Dad's Workshop. We appreciate our regular friends. If you are new, please do subscribe. We appreciate you coming by and talking with us. Please drop a comment so we can shout you out in here too. We love new people. We're not scared of new people. We love that stuff. So please do make sure you drop a comment and here. Yeah. All right, let me change to my other post where I have this mark laid out as well. I want to make sure I'm going to leave this one up here though, just so I can check it. I like to check this post against the other post. The mortises are in specific spots that I have not drawn out on a schematic in any way, shape, or form. This is all being done basically by memory and stuff like that. So, I mean, I know what my mortises need to be. Some of them I have to measure because I forgot the dimensions. So it's not. I'm a right brain person. It's very difficult for me to get into the left brain, you know, thing. But I appreciate that kind of mind frame, definitely. So here we are with. I've got this post. I've got that other part of the frame I showed y'all over there. And just to be sure, because these two are going to be opposite each other, I want to make sure that my mortises, I measure these from the reference of the bottom. So if there's any extra meat, it's going to be at the top of these. I don't know if you all can see these. These are a little, it's a smidge off. This mortise needs to come. No, that's right. Maybe a little off of that. But that's not what I'm looking at right now. Some of that's going to have to be corrected. I got a new set of files too. I want to get this rasp. I think it's on my Amazon wish list. It'll help me with some of these all the way through these mortises that go plumb through these boards. I can really clean them out with that. But yeah, it looks like it's in the right spot. I'll take this one and just compare it to it. Boom. Yeah, it's looking, should be. Yep, everything looks right on that. I'll probably have to clean that one out a bit too. Oh, let's tighten this up. Going down an inch. was way off on that. Easy to get these porcelain bits off center. All right, let's try this Japanese chisel I haven't used in a minute. Don't know the exact in and outs. I did try to sharpen this the other day with my new sharpening stones. It's kind of a different softness of steel. I got this from eBay a number of years ago, and I just really like the style of these Japanese chisels. Just a little different than my other ones. It's a one out of all my other chisels. Totally different. One off, I should say, or an outlier. None of my other ones really look like this. We'll see how sharp I got. I think the whole sole needs to be ground down probably. It doesn't feel very sharp. That's not bad. I'm gonna make some stop cuts here, so when I start going with the grain, it could rip out a bunch of wood. This is just something you have to know. Woodworking, if I'm gonna start chiseling along the grain, like parallel to the grain, I need stop cuts first, or I'm gonna tear out wood I don't want to tear out. And we're always talking about blowout on here, right? Who's in the chat? It's been a tough week, man, here at Dad's Workshop. It's all right. We're gonna keep this up, man. We're not gonna quit. Like I said, we'll do some more stuff too. And my whole goal of this thing was never quit. Basically, part of my mantra is like never quit, keep going. And it's worked. I felt really down before about this live stream, and then I keep going and have a good day. We do something great, and I feel really good about it. And then I have some tough times again. I'm sure all the other creators know it's just like an emotional roller coaster kind of. You know, you have a great day and you're like, I have it. I have my finger on the button, like finger on the pulse. I understand what's going on here, what I have to do. And then you kind of get humbled a little bit. You have a day where you have 5 people or 10 people, or like now, like 12 people in your live stream, when you feel like you kind of do a little better than that. But those days happen, especially whenever there's political stuff going on. Around when the inauguration happened, when the Pope died, those were all like, I noticed downswings in audience there. Like the bandwidth was being taken up by news. Something I noticed. Right now at Dad's Workshop, if you just showed up, please do subscribe. I have about almost 300 videos of doing a lot of this kind of stuff. You know, let's say 250 videos of solid woodworking stuff. A large catalog, you know, subscribe and check it out. And, you know, also the shorts are something I enjoy doing. We try to just do us here in an uncompromising way. One of my favorite musicians ever, Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison just didn't compromise. His artistry was his artistry, and he pursued it without compromise. And that we get a wider Narex chisel here. This one here. So for these cheeks. Must be a knot-like thing right here. Remember when the Pope died? Yep. Where were you on my live stream? You know? Rest in peace, Mr. Pope. And all the other human beings over the last since the dawn of time who have died, you know, who have done good things. Pope Francis, he was legit. He was a good one. I still see pencil here. I wish you all could see, but I'm just taking the side of this chisel to get after that pencil there. It's because I know it's the cheeks are still not where they need to be if I'm seeing pencil. I don't need this whole mallet. This is too much force. I need my small mallet. What did I do with that? What did I do with that? Oh, there it is. Sometimes, I don't want to feel like I'm lifting a Thor's hammer every time I take a strike at this wood. I did kind of mess up the top of this. I hope that doesn't mess up the placement of this joint. That was not very slick of me. How's everybody? Check the chat. Oh, yeah, I won't be here Monday. Yeah. I got my sons. They have Memorial Day, so I will have them on Monday, and I'll be out of town. Well, I'll be, taking care of them. I don't know if I'll be out of town, but I will be taking care of those boys. So Tuesday, maybe we make it up on Friday. I don't know. What do y'all think? Make it up on Friday? As long as it's better than the day, numbers look a little bit better than the day. Let's give myself a splinter. Chardonnay, there you go. That splinter was for you. I know. I love it here too. Like my family here, guys. This is me, Heather, and I. Like we love our peoples and all that, but we're not. It's no illusion to us that you all are like our family. Like this is it's. My family knows I run a live stream. Where they at? You know what I'm saying? But Chardonnay is here. But Ruiz is here. But Gandara is here. Every day, Woodchucker's popping in. Raja Bindi pops in. But my dad don't come. Shout out, Dad, if you are watching this. Love you. This bed is for everybody there. So hope y'all love that. And I'm not even being negative. I'm saying this is to say you all are our people. That's how important this live stream is to us. It's very important that we be here for you. So yeah, we make no illusion of the fact that you all are like family. Like I said, all my people, all my supposed blood relation people, all of them know what I do here. All I hear about when I go home and have family parties is what they're doing. You know what I mean? I don't sit here and talk about this. They could pop into this live stream and see what we're doing and just say hi. But I'm not going to bother them with what I do. What I'm going to do is just love the one I'm with, like the hippie song says. You guys are here. That's most of the whole thing. The presence of somebody. Are they there for you? And you guys have been here for us. Without you guys, we wouldn't even be where we are. We have a long way to go, but we couldn't be here without you guys. Period. Jamal, it's a chat and chill, Jamal. Thanks for coming, though. Appreciate you being here. The mysterious Jamal. I have whole playlists of a lot of just all it is ASMR though, man. Nature sounds, tool sounds. So I got this song in my head right now. I think the lyrics start with Jamal, you still there? Jamal's not there anymore. Got this song in my head. It starts with the words Jamal is Eddie. Jamal is Eddie. I think so. That's how it starts. Is that what it is? I forget. It's like I think it starts with like the words Jamal is really Eddie. I don't understand. Why don't you just go by your real name, man? Something like that. That's the song. So I cannot control myself. Tell me I'm stupid, Heather. Tell me I'm stupid, Heather. See. Excellent choice of names, though. Of all the names you could choose, who's manipulating who, right? Who's manipulating who? Not me. All right, this seems deep enough. Let me take my ruler. Actually, I'll take my tool here. Check the cheeks of it too. Oh yeah, that's good. That sits flat in there. That's key. Yeah. This is my channel name, Raja. You talking about Raja's channel name? I think it is under his name. Click his name. You guys are. Oh, all right. So if you're a what you call it, you know, like you have mod status. All you got to do is click his name. You can go to his channel automatically, Daniel. So now you have that mod status. You can actually click on Raj's channel right there and go right to it. Yeah. So you don't even need that. Like his name should be like a hot link to you, where you drive a drop down menu, right? See what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. That's cool. Yeah, I think what he's talking about is like yeah, it's all right. I'm about to roll out here in a second anyway. 6:45 was about when I was gonna end it. Yeah. And we will not be here Monday. We will be here Tuesday, and we'll consider extending it to Friday because I want to make sure I'm here for y'all every day that I can be. Shout out Jamal if you're out there. I'm so sorry that it's not real ASMR, Jamal. Maybe you can find one of those channels. I wish you the very best out there. Everybody else, shout out to everybody else for coming and sticking around and making positive comments. Love the positive support from everybody. Woodchucker, Chardonnay, Daniel, Gandara, and Diego Ruiz, Rajabindi Gohana. And I believe that's the number. That's most of the people who are commenting today or in the chat. And who, if you are a new person, please do subscribe to the channel. We'll consider doing an all ASMR day. That's a possibility if that works. Just like I like to try all kinds of stuff. For example, I like to try the horizontal aspect too. And oh, really? My email should be on there, dude. Appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate y'all. So I love y'all, and I will. Is my mic? What's wrong with my mic? Is it gone? Microphone. Oh, Mike, like Mike, or Mike or Mic? Oh, it did it. Okay, I'm just checking. Did it go out? Really? It might be dying. I need to charge it. Appreciate all y'all. All y'all. See all y'all back on Tuesday. On Tuesday. See all y'all back on Tuesday. Love y'all. Love y'all. Give someone a hug. You know, give someone a hug, especially if they're an ASMR person. While they're listening to the scratching, give them a hug. You know, carefully though. Don't scare them. Don't sneak up on them. Yeah, email me, man. Email me. And you know, shout. You know, holler at a player when you see him in the street. Hug somebody you love. Do the next right thing. Love y'all. Take care. This is Dad's Workshop. Be back on Tuesday. See y'all later.